It's been a sobering few weeks for investors in one of the world's most thriving crypto markets, India, after the crash of popular token Luna.
I wasn't personally affected, and that was because I'd never invested in the token in the first place. But I do know a lot of people who have. One of my neighbors came to me because she lost a huge amount in the Luna crash, because anything you would have invested is like probably zero now.
Chahal Verma began investing in cryptocurrencies a year ago. The 20-year-old is unfazed by the recent volatility.
I wouldn't have been surprised if I saw Luna at zero someday, but I did not expect it to all happen within a matter of 2-3 days. The truth is that a lot of people think that crypto are like 50x, 100x within a matter of days or something like that. Even the Indian government thinks that. They have that perception. But in reality, if it's like that, we also have things going down with like an even greater momentum.
According to the World Gold Council, India is one of the largest markets for gold. But Chahal is part of a new wave of young Indians choosing to park their money in cryptocurrencies instead. One of the country's largest crypto exchanges, CoinDCX, says it has 15 million users, almost half of whom are first-time investors. Many are attracted by the possibility of high returns.
We have Nifty 50, which is the index in India, that has grown around 300%. Then S&P 500 has grown around 300% again. Gold is only around 15-20% in the last 10 years, like a decade.
These young investors have propelled India to the world's second highest cryptocurrency adoption rate.
The millennials and Generation Z are responsible for some of this adoption. Between July 2020 and June 2021, that represents 641% growth. We've seen also a big part of that growth coming from retail users rather than institutional users, which is a very important point to be made.
It's a new asset class, very nascent. The pace of growth has been very, very high. So obviously that spreads the word. India has the highest number of probably mobile phones in the world, maybe second highest number of internet users, second highest number of gamers, highest number of YouTube, Instagram, Twitter accounts, etc., etc. And the list keeps going on, right? And if you start adding number of software developers, number of people associated with the technology ecosystem, it's just humongous. And I think crypto is a community event. Crypto is a community-driven technology innovation. And all of these parameters are bound to make it very popular in India.
But it's not just short-term price swings Indian investors have to deal with. A longer-term issue could be Prime Minister Narendra Modi's crypto-skeptic government. It recently imposed a 30% tax on crypto gains. The Prime Minister has also said cryptocurrencies could, in his words, spoil the country's youth.
I believe that the regulators are concerned about potential money laundering and terrorism financing connections between crypto and these illicit activities. And they are expecting these cryptocurrency businesses to actually provide clear guidance and solution as to what they're doing to fight that. Now, once those solutions are adopted, then the regulators will feel much more comfortable dealing with cryptocurrency businesses. We're still in that phase where cryptocurrency businesses are trying to invest into compliance, but the regulators have very high expectations because they're based on what the traditional finance world is using.
Still, industry players remain optimistic that the Indian crypto ecosystem will thrive despite these headwinds. The government is already in negotiations with major exchanges.
The tax itself is good because it helps get certain data and it helps understand what's happening in the market and it helps bring accountability to the industry. But the amount of tax is disproportionate with respect to other industries. So I think those are the places where we are working with the government. Number one, in making sure whatever we are doing on the regulatory governance side is in line with other countries and other nationalities. Number two, making sure that the amount of tax which is being levied on the investors today is decreased and brought in line with other financial markets in India.
Stakeholders say that more regulatory certainty would help to grow the ecosystem in India.
I do think that obviously it is a risk for any jurisdiction if you move from being very open to cryptocurrency and blockchain and innovation to being very restrictive, then some of these players will need to be forced to look at other countries or other options.
We are definitely seeing a lot of talent flee India for these markets like Dubai and Singapore. Something which we need to change as a country, right? We need to have more clarity on this. This could literally be the next Silicon Valley in the next 5 years, right? We have all the macros lined. We have young developers. We have good internet ecosystem participants. We are aware of all the developments happening around crypto. So there's a good network of crypto enthusiasts in the country. I think the only clarity we need is the regulatory/governance clarity. And if we can provide that in the next few months, I think we will just leapfrog every other country when it comes to creating new jobs and creating new companies.
For now, young Indians are also bullish despite the uncertainties, recently topping a survey of 15 markets for trust in cryptocurrencies.